Hey, welcome back to another one of my videos. Welcome to my channel if you've never watched any of my previous videos. I normally do gaming videos, computer videos for like stuff for computers, me getting pissed off playing video games, going to conventions and stuff. But this video is going to be something different. This one's going to be more personal. This one's going to take you a little more into my life. Um, if you didn't know, I'm AtomiCSwift. My real name is Chris, and said I can't do cracking videos anymore. So I'm just gonna tell you some stories from my life or from my job. Funny videos, funny stories. Um, and just bring you into more into my world. Get to know me a little more. So the first, like I said, this is the first video like this that I've made. So I'm just going to share this story about an ex-girlfriend of mine that I dated all the way back. Let me think. I started dating her. I want to say like 2006, 2007, maybe. Okay. And her name was Amanda. In a little while, you're gonna see what her last name is. Well, what her last name was, whatever. But when I first started dating this girl, she was pretty normal, I will say. I had great times with her. I mean, she was fun to hang out with, and I met her while I was working another job, and like I said, she was just really nice. Young girl, she had kids. I didn't have any kids, but we just got along really well. And then she started dipping in the meth. And people at work would tell me she was dipping in the meth. I'm not stupid. I fucking knew. I mean, when you do meth, you could tell by looking at somebody's face, around their jawline, if they've touched meth in their life, you can tell their complexion. You could tell if they're actively doing methamphetamine. And if you didn't know, meth and heroin are very, very bad drugs here in Las Vegas. So anyway, she started dipping in the meth, her and her friend. And said people would tell me. I knew, though. I knew that she was dipping in the meth. I'm not a fucking idiot. I mean, her tits basically just disappeared. They shrank because she lost so much weight from doing meth. So one morning, I was going to work my other job, and I knew the supervisor. Well, I was a supervisor at the time, too, but I knew the supervisor, another supervisor, and he told me that she could come to work today. Well, I asked him first. So I go to her apartment to get her. She doesn't answer the door. And she told me she was going to be home. So I'm just like, well, what the hell? It's early morning. She doesn't answer the door. She had lost phones before. So we had got like a family locator plan because she was on my phone plan because I'm a nice guy like that. Or as I look back on it now, I'm an idiot like that. Well, I was an idiot like that. So anyway, I go to walk away from the house, and I go, oh shit, you know what? She's got a family locator, and like I said, I knew she was on meth, was dipping in it. So I was like, well, maybe she's in the house sleeping, so I'll just check the locator because I'm wasting my time if I'm out here beating on the door and she's not answering the door. So sure enough, I check the locator, and it shows her like near the Strip, Las Vegas Strip. I'm like, well, that's weird, She told me she was gonna be home, so I was like, well, okay. So I drive away, and I'm heading to work, and I don't know. I checked it again, and it showed like the phone wasn't on the Strip. Now it was getting closer to her apartment. So I'm like, oh wow, what the hell's going on? Maybe somebody stole her phone or something. So, but she told me she needed hours for work. I got her these hours, so I was like, well, I'll just meet her at her apartment and let her know. So I go to her apartment, and I pull back up to the apartment, and I look at the locator, and it says she's at her apartment. So I knock on the door, and some guy looks out the door, or like out the window to the right of the door. Some guy I've never seen before. He looked ghetto as hell. So I'm like, well, what the hell? So I beat on the door. She comes out and she's like, what's the problem? And I go, who the fuck is this guy? And she's like, oh, that's my friend, blah, blah, blah. Or no, she said that was her friend's friend. I'm like, oh, whatever. I was like, well, I got to get to work. I was like, but, I got you some more hours. She goes, oh, I appreciate it, but, we just got back. I'm tired, blah, 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 blah. My friends are going to leave, and then I'm going to go to sleep. So I'm like, okay. So I go to work. I come back from work. She calls me, and she's like, hey, can you give me a ride to the store? I got to get some stuff to bake cookies for my kid's class or some shit like that, right? So I give her a ride to the store. We go in. We get the shit, come back. And she has me drop her off at her friend's apartment, which is a little ways down from her apartment in another complex. And I get out, say bye, and I watch her. We sit and talk with her friend for a while, and then I go to leave. She goes to leave to walk to her apartment. So she goes to walk to her apartment, and like maybe 10, 15 minutes later, her friend calls me. And it's like, hey, Amanda just got arrested. And I'm like, what the fuck? Are you serious? She goes, yeah, the cops, stopped her while she was walking back to her apartment, and she's in jail. And, I don't know what for. So I'm like, well, what the hell? So, I go over to her friend's apartment, and we're like, well, what the hell could it be? What the hell could it be? And she goes, oh, she's been hanging out with this really bad people, these people that give me the creeps. And she's telling me these crazy little situations she had with this guy and this girl that, I saw the guy that morning. And they're like, and she's like, he's not, they're not good people. So I'm like, okay. So I think we were like watching TV or something, and I keep checking on my laptop that I'd brought over with me to try to look at charges. And then finally, after a few hours of click and refresh, it finally comes up, and she's being charged with like burglary, attempted murder, assault with a deadly weapon, all kinds of crazy shit, right? And how embarrassing, I wasn't even thinking about her. I was like me. I was like, oh, wow, what the fuck is this shit? Like, I thought, I knew she was dipping in meth. I knew her friend who I'm sitting here with is dipping in meth. But I thought that, she at least had a brain in her fucking head not to put herself in a situation, right? We're all fucking stupid, trying to think here. How old would I have been at that time? Let's see. If I was... How old would I have been? Well, I was like in my mid-20s. She was around the same age as me, alright? So anyway... It's horrible. So, here she is in jail. And, all this attempted murder, blah, 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 blah. And, at first, you want to deny it to yourself. You don't want to believe that this could possibly be true, right? Because you're like, this girl's not this fucking stupid. But then it turns out she is. Because she spent quite a while in jail. And I went to work, the days she was in jail, well, all that time. And the very next day I had work, everybody knew. And I know everybody knew because as soon as I walked in, everybody was talking amongst themselves, and then they were all quiet as soon as I walked in the room. And then one of my friends pulled me to the side, and they go, hey, this person had the newspaper. And what did the newspaper say? Well, let me share it with you here. Check this out here. October 8th, 2008, Las Vegas police arrested 3 people in connection with an attempted robbery and shooting that left 1 man injured inside a hotel room at the Orleans on October 1st. Oh, I didn't realize that's same day as the Vegas shooting. different years, of course. Wow. Police said the first two suspects was arrested Monday. A third suspect was arrested Wednesday. They are Amanda Mae Pasomas, 25, Roderick Renee Sawyer, 30, and Asia Laquise Jeter, 23. All suspects face multiple charges, including attempted murder. Oh, there were more charges, that's right. Robbery with a deadly weapon, burglary with use of a deadly weapon, first degree kidnapping with a deadly weapon, and conspiracy to commit kidnapping. Victims say the injured victim was shot in the abdomen about 4:30 a.m. October 1st. He was taken to University Medical Center. His condition was unknown Wednesday. Police said the incident may have been a result of prostitution activity. Isn't that great? And then we got more here. Here we go. Look at this. Look at this. That's her right there. I dated her. Proud of myself. Give myself clap my hands. I'm too nice. I wanted to be there for somebody. Wanted to help somebody. Like a dumbass, right? So she's got all these charges, right? This is a guy I saw look out her window. He apparently was the pimp of her. So she had nobody. Her family gave up on her pretty much, because she got in trouble. I mean, they would visit her in jail, but, I would put, money on her books and just, help her out as much as I can because I wanted to believe there was a good person in there. I really, really did, which everybody will do in their lifetime. Everybody has done something nice for somebody and then you end up getting fucked over. I said, I don't even care about it now. It's just back in the day when I think about it, it's just, I was too nice. So this girl was in jail for I want to say 3 months, right? And I went to all the court proceedings and all that stuff, and we learned the story. Well, everybody in the courtroom, we all learned the story. So what had happened was, it all stems from this girl. This girl knew the two victims that they robbed, okay? And like I said, I know this is fact because I was in the courtroom. The two victims, one of the guys that got shot, the one guy that got shot, this is the story he told, this is the story his friend told, and like I said, right there in court. So, they knew this girl, okay? She's a prostitute, and they had been the one guy had been hanging out with this girl, okay? And she somehow became friends with my girlfriend at the time. And this girl knew this guy, so they all three started hanging around together, right? So that morning, we'll say that night, at the Orleans Casino, which is still here in Las Vegas off of West Tropicana. So she took my girlfriend at the time over to the Orleans, probably to make money. She was probably going to prostitute. I don't know that. I remember she told me no, but, we're not dumb. Come on. So anyway, they went up to these guys' room, okay, at the Orleans, and like I said, this was in court. So the two victims even said my girlfriend at the time, Amanda, left the room, and she even testified in court as she left. Roderick here. He's a real winner. He's a multi-time felon. He comes rushing down the hallway, pushes into the room. She goes in the room to see what the hell's going on, and he pulls out a gun and sticks up these two guys, right? And tells them to throw all their valuables on the bed. So they throw their valuables on the bed. As they're throwing their valuables on the bed, he's staring at their valuables. And one of the guys decides to try to be a hero, tries to take the gun from this dipshit here. And he ends up getting shot, I think it was in the lower stomach or the leg, if I remember. And then they flee, and then that's when I see them back at the apartment. Okay? So they went through all this court stuff. These two assholes went to prison. This one got off. Like I said, she spent 3 months in jail, roughly. and got probation because even the two victims said that she really didn't have anything to do with it. She was just basically just there. So she gets out of jail. I bail her out because I'm stupid once she was able to be bailed out. And she stays with her friend for a while. Well, no, actually, right out of jail, she came and stayed with me. And then she was acting like a total cunt. So I threw her out. Well, told her to leave. So she left, went and stayed with various other random people, okay? And then I'm trying to remember what the hell happened. So then I want to say she moved back in with me because I lived with my dad at the time. My dad and my brother and I lived with my family, and they were nice enough to let her come stay with us and her two kids. Because I was trying to help her out. I'm too nice of a person, and But anyway, so I'm trying to help her out, and I'm trying to think. Was it once a month or once every couple weeks or something? She had to go to probation and, do a piss test, to make sure she was adhering to the probation, staying off drugs, all that good shit, right? So I give her a ride down to probation. She comes out and she goes, I couldn't pee. She goes, I told him I couldn't pee, and then I told him I had to go pick up my kids from school, and then you're gonna bring me back over here. I go, okay. So we're driving to pick her kids up from her school, and she's like, hey, I took a pill the other day. I'm gonna pop dirty. Can you help me buy this detox stuff from the smoke shop? So I'm like, yeah, whatever, I'm like, yeah, she's fucking doing drugs. I'm not stupid, right? So we buy the shit, and we go back to my house, my family's home, and she's in the bathroom. And I keep knocking on the door, and I'm telling her, hey, this probation officer told us he does not fuck around, when I bailed you out of jail. He told you to come right back. He's going to be fucking pissed. He's going to come over here. She goes, oh, no, he won't. No, he won't. So I'm like, okay. So I go out to my car to get something. My car's parked out front. And sure enough, when I'm getting something out of my car pulls up like a little ways down from my car, parks on the street, and he gets out of the car, and I saw him. He goes, where's she at, Chris? I go, she's in the house, man. She goes in the house. Well, he goes in the house. They give her a piss test in my family's home. She pops dirty for meth. She goes to prison. And that's when I washed my hands of her. I had all of her stuff because while she was in jail, I packed up her apartment and brought all of her valuable shit to my house. Pictures and shit, clothes, stuff like that I gave to her family. But like her furniture and stuff like that was still in my garage. Well, when I eventually moved out to an apartment, I threw all of her shit away. Because I hadn't heard from her. I hadn't heard from her in a very, very long time. She went to prison for like a year, I think. And when she got out, she never hit me up. Well, she didn't hit me up for years about her furniture. And then I get a message years later on Facebook, or maybe it was like 1 or 2 years later. Hey, can I come get my stuff? I was like, I threw that shit out. Like, I didn't hear nothing from you. But, I mean, that's just crazy. I was dating somebody who's more hardcore than me. They're fucking involved in a robbery and a shooting. It's just crazy. I mean, I just can't believe it. And, like, when I tell people the story, they know me, and they're just like, wow, that's crazy. You dated somebody like that? I'm like, yeah, it's fucking nuts, ain't it? Yep. But anyway, that's one of my craziest fucking stories of somebody I would say that's my craziest of all the people I've ever dated. That is the craziest story right there. Like I didn't believe it when it was fucking happening initially with this shit right here. It's just crazy, but yeah. Anyway, like I said, that's a different kind of video I'm trying here. I don't know if you guys like these kind of videos. Like I said, if you like it, give it a like. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Comment down below. I will respond to your comments. Any questions you may possibly have. But thanks for watching my videos. Thanks for all likes, comments, subs. And as always, bye for now.
he thought.